Good evening and welcome. The political back and forth over ek hai to safe hai and the cash haul near Vinod Thavade, the BJP's all-powerful General Secretary who comes from Maharashtra, coming as it does a day before one of India's most important states goes to the polls. There's also Jharkhand. All this and more coming up on the news track tonight.
Maha Battle of Slogans. BJP's war cry एक हैं तो सेफ हैं.
अलग अलग जातियों में टूटने से आप सोचिए कमजोर हो जाएंगे कि नहीं हो जाएंगे. एक है तो
Rahul roars, who is safe?
एक है तो सेफ है. एक कौन है? एक नरेंद्र मोदी जी हैं, अदानी जी हैं, अमित शाह जी हैं. सेफ है तो कौन सेफ है? अदानी जी सेफ हैं.
Who set the narrative? Who is playing catch up? Who is safe in poll war? That is a big focus on News Track.
We have an action-packed show lined up tonight, coming as it does hours before Mumbai and Maharashtra goes to the polls. Hours before Maharashtra goes to polls, a big cash row has erupted. At the center of it is BJP's General Secretary from Maharashtra, Vinod Thavade. High drama unfolded at a hotel in Virar this morning after the Bahujan Vikas Aghadi, or the BVA, workers gherawed Thavade and flung cash at his face. The BJP leader has alleged this is a conspiracy, but a political war of words has exploded since. Here's the story.
High voltage drama at a hotel in Mumbai just a day before the Maharashtra Assembly elections. BJP General Secretary Vinod Thavade is gherawed by supporters of Kshitij Thakur. The Bahujan Vikas Aghadi candidate from Nala Supara. The Bahujan Vikas Aghadi leader accused Thavade of distributing cash, alleging that Thavade had brought 5 crore rupees and a diary with names of beneficiaries. They waved currency notes and claimed to have found a bag from Thavade which was handed over to the police. The supporters of Kshitij Thakur camped inside the hotel, not allowing Thavade to leave. They also punctured Thavde's car tires.
इधर तो अभी पैसे मिले भी है. इलेक्शन कमिश्नर को उन्होंने डिक्लेयर करना तो बैग में पैसे है, डायरिया है, जिसको कितना दिया है वो नाम लिखे हुए हैं.
कितना पैसा बटा हुआ है?
5 करोड़ लेके आने वाले थे, ऐसा बीजेपी के ही नेता ने मुझे बोला था.
अच्छा, कहीं ऊपर से कोई प्रेशर आ रहा, दबाव बनाया जा रहा आपके ऊपर?
होगा ही. पुलिस प्रशासन और इलेक्शन कमीशन तो दबाव के नीचे ही काम करता है.
The Election Commission of India filed an FIR against Vinod Thavade and BJP Nala Supara candidate Rajan Nayak. However, Thavade stayed defiant and denied all the charges.
कार्यकर्ताओं की बैठक चल रही थी. वहां पर चुनाव के दिन की जो आचार संहिता होती है कि जो वोटिंग मशीन है उस पर सील कैसे लगना है, सील आखिर में कैसे होना है, ऑब्जेक्शन अगर लेना है तो क्या करना होता है, ऐसी जो 12 बातें बताते हैं वो बताने के लिए मैं पहुंच जाता हूँ. सामने वाला जो पार्टी हमारे मित्र पक्ष है, इतन अप्पा ठाकुर जी है या क्षितिज है, उनके कार्यकर्ताओं को लगा कि हम पैसे बांट रहे हैं. तो चुनाव आयोग उसकी इंक्वायरी करे, पुलिस इंक्वायरी करे, सीसीटीवी फुटेज ले ले, तो जो वास्तव है वो सबको पता है. और फिर भी चुनाव आयोग ने निष्पक्ष इंक्वायरी करनी चाहिए, ऐसा मेरा भी आग्रह है.
Leaders of the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi went all guns blazing against the BJP.
तुळजाभवानीच्या दर्शनाला येताना देखील माझी बॅग तपासली गेली. बॅगेमध्ये तर काही सापडलं नाही. विनोद तावडेंच्या बॅगेत पैसे सापडले तर तुमच्याकडनं कळलं. तसंच काल अनिल देशमुखांवरती जो हल्ला झाला हे दगड तपासण्याचं काम कोणी करायचं होतं. म्हणूनच मी आई तुळजाभवानीला साकडं घातलंय की ही सगळी भ्रष्ट आणि दहशतवादी राजवट एकदा या राज्यातून खत्म करून टाक.
मुझे समझना नहीं है कि सत्ताधारी पक्ष को इतना क्यों पैसा बांटने का शौक लग गया. पैसे ज्यादा हो गए क्या? हर जगह से यही वारदात आ रही है. पैसे बांट रहे, पैसे बांट रहे, पैसे बांट रहे. और किसके मदद से बांट रहे हैं? तो पुलिस को कहने जाओ ऊपर गए, तुमको क्या मालूम ऊपर गए.
The BJP rallied behind Tavre.
वो जो आपका आरोप वाली घटना है उस जगह पे स्थल पे होना चाहिए कि सभा स्थल पे होना चाहिए. अपनी पराजय को अवश्यंभावी जानकर अब खिसियाहट और बौखलाहट में, यानी इसे कहा जाए कि हताशा और निराशा में महाविकास अघाड़ी विक्षिप्तता की सीमा तक पहुंच गई है.
The cash for votes controversy comes on the eve of polling day, causing much embarrassment to the ruling Maha Alliance. With Mustafa Sheikh and Vidya in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
बांटोगे तो पिटोगे. From whose safe did the money come? The Mahavikas Aghadi is hurling all these kinds of jibes at the ruling Mahayuti at the back of this cash for votes row. All attacks are targeted at the BJP's "Ek hai to safe hai" war cry, which became a big buzzword this campaign season. While the BJP used it to counter the Congress's caste narrative, Rahul Gandhi has linked the safe slogan to a corporate group, Adani. Who's winning the slogan war, and more importantly, which slogan will track with voters tomorrow?
महाराष्ट्र सरकार की स्ट्रेटेजी है, हम आपको ये दिखाना चाह रहे हैं.
The big safe word in the Maharashtra election campaign.
एक है तो सेफ है.
A war cry given by the Prime Minister, calling for unity against caste divide.
अलग अलग जातियों में टूटने से आप सोचिए कमजोर हो जाएंगे कि नहीं हो जाएंगे. एक है तो
Hours before the campaign ended, the BJP slogan was weaponized by Rahul Gandhi to target the Prime Minister.
एक है तो सेफ है. एक कौन है? एक नरेंद्र मोदी जी हैं, अदानी जी हैं, अमित शाह जी हैं. सेफ है तो कौन सेफ है? अदानी जी सेफ हैं.
Day before election, the "Ek hai to safe hai" showdown is exploding.
राहुल गांधी जी ने आज एक यहाँ पर बड़ी तिजोरी लाई थी. हमें लगा महाराष्ट्र को कुछ देने के लिए लाए हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने तो उस तिजोरी में से निकाला क्या? अदानी का फोटो निकाला. वो पहले कहते थे खट खटाखट दो, यहाँ से आलू डालो, वहां से सोना निकलेगा. अभी ये महाराष्ट्र के तिजोरी पे एक प्रकार का डाका डालने के लिए आए हो.
Last week in Maharashtra, BJP launched a statewide campaign blitz with "Ek hai to safe hai" as appearing in Marathi and English newspapers. At first, "Batenge to katenge" was popularized by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath.
कि बंटिए मत, उन्हीं से प्रेरणा ग्रहण करके मैं आपसे कहता हूं बंटिए मत, क्योंकि जब भी बटे थे तो कटे थे.
The slogan aimed at uniting Hindus against alleged atrocities in Bangladesh became a major talking point during the election rallies. While the BJP presented the slogan as a call for unity, the opposition quickly accused it of having communal undertones.
इधर लोगों को बोलते हैं बटेंगे तो कटेंगे. ये साधु का काम है. हमारा स्लोगन एक ही है, हम डरेंगे तो मरेंगे, इसीलिए हम डरने वाले नहीं हैं.
The battle of slogans has come to define the campaign strategies of both the BJP and the Congress. While the BJP has focused on unity and national security, Congress has countered with messages of resistance to fear and division. The big question is, which slogan will resonate more with the voters?
एक है तो सेफ है.
Bureau Report, India Today.
The immediate future of Indian politics rests on what happens in Maharashtra tomorrow. If the BJP and the Mahayuti is able to win, then Prime Minister Modi and his government will say, Sab changa si, we are back to where we were, that the 4th of June was the aberration, and that the government has found its mojo and can go all guns blazing. If the Congress wins, then they can say, 4th of June is the new norm, Haryana was the aberration, and therefore they'll push the case that the BJP government and the Modi Sarkar is on a secular decline. Whose messaging was more effective during this campaign, and whose war cries are likely to register with voters, and why? Talking about this on the show tonight are Anand Ranganathan, author, consulting editor, Swarajya, professor at JNU. I've got Dilip Cherian, founder, Perfect Relations. Sanjay Jha is a political analyst and commentator. And for political perspective, I have Rohan Gupta from the BJP and I have Mohan Kumaramangalam from the Congress. I want to go across to Anand Ranganathan first. Looked at purely from the lens of political messaging, we've got an attack and a counter-attack over the Ek Hai to Safe Hai slogan. Now, safe is an English word. Rahul Gandhi is trying to sell it to a largely rural audience that largely speaks Marathi. Do you think he's been able to get the message across? When you look at the political messaging, who do you think has delivered the knockout blow in the Maharashtra campaign?
Good evening to analysts. Look, I for one don't doubt Mr. Modi's sincerity in what he's and in what he's correct. Hindus are divided, we destroyed. Hain to indeed. And the history of our civilization has proved this time and again. Let me illustrate this not with a historical example of which they are talking, but a contemporary one.
Rahul, remember how Indian Muslims united and indulged in Azad Maidan protests and riots to force the Indian government to take in Muslim Rohingya refugees from Myanmar? Well, it resulted in us ultimately taking in as many as 40,000 Rohingya Muslim refugees. It is another matter that no one from the Indian Muslim community ever united to force the Indian government to settle 7 lakh Kashmiri Hindus who were driven out from their own homes. Anyhow, all Hindus remember Azad Maidan. But do we remember Khamam Sheikh? We don't. It is a place in Myanmar where Muslim Rohingyas murdered more than 100 Hindus and their families mercilessly, raped, pillaged, even buried some alive. Many among those Rohingya Muslims who committed this atrocity might be right now in India as refugees. But as I said, no Hindu ever came out to talk about Khamam Sheikh. All we do is get jealous of Indian Muslims uniting for Rohingya Muslims, Lebanese Muslims, Palestinian Muslims, Syrian Muslims. Rahul, if you are jealous of someone else's unity, it means you are divided. So our fate is sealed. But then I ask Prime Minister Narendra Modi, was the Kashmiri Hindu genocide in Kashmir because of Hindu disunity? Fact is, we weren't safe even when we were united. Simple truth is, Hindus unite to choose a government that promised to work for their interests. They united not once, not twice, but 3 times. But what has the government done except give patronizing lectures? Has the BJP government constructed detention centers this side of the Indo-Bangladesh border to allow tens of thousands of persecuted Hindus fleeing the genocide in Bangladesh and standing in chest-high waters of Pisa pleading to be let in? No. Has the constitutional, legal, educational, social discrimination against the Hindus ended? Far from it. Has the BJP government removed exclusive state control on 1 lakh Hindu temples, something that would have allowed Hindus to construct thousands of Hindu schools and hospitals to prevent lakhs of Hindus leaving the fold of Hinduism in the face of incentives given by other religions? No. Has the BJP government decoupled RTE from the 93rd Amendment that forces only Hindu-run schools to give 25% to EVS for reservation, something that has resulted in thousands of only Hindu schools being shut down? No. Has this BJP government abrogated the draconian Waqf Act that has resulted in thousands of acres of Hindu land, including a Hindu temple that is 1,500-year-old being covered? No. Has the BJP government abrogated the Place of Worship Act that bars Hindus to reclaim their own demolished temples? No. Has the BJP government resettled 7 lakh Kashmiri Hindus in their own land? No. Rahul, just 30 seconds. Yes, the Congress is anti-Hindu. We know that. Quote, The responsibility for communal peace rests on the majority community, that is the Hindus. If there is a breach of this peace, I would start with the presumption that it has been caused by the Hindu communal elements, unquote. Who said this? Jawaharlal Nehru in 1959. And this is the same psyche that had the Congress in 2009 about to enact a law where only the Hindus would have been held guilty in a communal right even if they were in a minority. The fact is, question is not to the Congress. Question is to you, Modi ji and the BJP. Why are Hindus who united to put you in power, not once, not twice, but 3 times, still unsafe? Why?
Okay, Sanjay Jha, let's stick to the messaging. As far as communication goes, ek hai to safe hai, and a couple of things strike me. One, safe in the way that Rahul Gandhi is trying to use the word safe. You know, most people say tijori, and that's how they perceive it. He's trying to use an English word to try and sell it to a largely rural state. Do you think he's been able to deliver, or would you concede that the Maha Yuti has been more on point? It may be brutal in terms of saying batenge to katenge, and you can have objections to the tonality and the language, but have they been able to get their message across?
Rahul, good evening. I know we are discussing Maharashtra, but I think it's very important to juxtapose what was done by the BJP in Jharkhand for the benefit of your viewers who may not be aware. And may I request all the viewers of your very popular and very respected program in India today to kindly Google the BJP's ad campaign for Jharkhand. Extremely vicious, extremely communal, frankly anti-national, because Muslims, to the best of my knowledge, are part of India, right? 200 million Muslims in this country, they vote. They have Aadhaar cards, they have voting cards. And I am astonished and surprised at the vulgarity of the BJP that ran that campaign. And somewhere during this program, that is something that the BJP and their many cheerleaders here will have to answer that question. Here's my point. I live in Maharashtra, and I'll tell you why I'm agitated here today. Because I don't want the BJP to bring their extremely crude, cheap, and divisive politics that they practice in different states and foolishly believe that it will work in Maharashtra. This is a state that, by the way, has Jyotiba Phule as one of its great icons. Let's not forget Dr. Ambedkar. People whom the BJP does not intrinsically and inherently respect. And let me tell you why, Rahul, this will boomerang. And I can't wait for the 23rd of November. Because you have Ajit Pawar, a member of the Maha Jhuti Alliance. You have Pankaja Munde of the BJP. You have Nitin Gadkari of the BJP. You have Ashok Chavan now of the BJP, who have said that this extremely crude attempt at dividing Maharashtra is not going to work. Can you imagine, Rahul, how embarrassing it is for Narendra Modi, for long considered to be the big trump card of the BJP, to be told by Ajit Pawar, please do not campaign in the...
Let me hold that thought and get Rohan Gupta to respond, because I interviewed Ajit Pawar. And this is what he said: I don't agree with this batenge to katenge business. It doesn't sit well with our voters. Others from the BJP, like Ashok Chavan, Pankaja Munde, have in different ways voiced their differences as well. Maharashtra isn't, typically been like an Uttar Pradesh, which is easy to polarize. Sanjay Jha making the argument that instead of proving to be a vote getter, this could be a weak point in your Achilles' heels.
Rahul, basically, when you talk from communication viewpoint, when opposition reacts on your slogan, it means you are winning. If it is not making impact, the opposition will not react. And when you talk about ek hai to safe hai, this is not against anybody. It's about the mindset. My friend Sanjay Jha is here. I'm sorry to say that when he's talking about Jharkhand, he has forgotten to the statement of Mr. Ghulam Ahmed Mir of Congress Party, who says कि हम तो 450 का cylinder घुसपैठियों को भी देंगे. Don't you feel that is shameful? And Rahul, this is not a mistake. This is a mindset, they have to come out of it. Whole election I was in Jharkhand. This Ghuspatia issue, this inflated issue is a serious issue. In Santal, if 15% population of Adivasis goes down and even Congress Party and GMM is not speaking, what are they talking about? Their eyes are completely shut. So, Ek Hai To Safe is the slogan of the country. This is not dividing anybody, it is uniting the country. It is a mind of appeasement. अगर इंडी गठबंधन एक है तो भ्रष्टाचार सेफ है, घुसपैठिए सेफ है, इनका अपीसमेंट सेफ है, ये नहीं होगा. राहुल क्यों आप ऑपोजिशन जो है वो पूरा ट्रैप में फंस चुका है। मोदी जी ने पूरे देश को एक रहने की बात की है, देश को बंटना नहीं है ये बात कहा है। अगर आपके माइंड में अपीसमेंट है, अगर आपके माइंड में घुसपैठिए है, बोलते हैं कि जिसकी आंखें पीली उसको सब पीला दिखता है, तो दैट इज व्हाट हैज हैपेंड एंड दे आर इन
Mohan Kumaramanglam, this was the BJP slogan. The Congress is reacting to it and making it the pivot of their campaign. The BJP says this is our victory. We gave the slogan. You're copying it, trying to turn a spin on it. But we set the message, we set the narrative, and everybody's basically reacting, and therefore we've struck home harder.
Well, first of all, I don't think whatever the Congress did in terms of safe, showing the Tijori as a safe, is actually the pivot of our campaign. And from what I've heard of the Maharashtra elections from the ground, each election is being fought very close. Local issues have started to matter a lot more. And frankly, in developed states like Maharashtra, like even my home state of Tamil Nadu, no matter how much BJP has tried to polarize the electorate with the, slogans like batenge to katenge, or with slogans like ek hai to safe hai, it hasn't worked. And I don't think it's going to work in Maharashtra at all as well. I think what's happened today with Vinod Tavde is, a great example. Will have a big impact on voting tomorrow, because the questions that Congress has raised by putting a safe out there is like ek rahenge is who? Dharavi and Adani and Modi, Ajit Pawar and BJP, or forget everything else. Is it for Fadnavis and Tavde? Because as you've heard, that the person who caught Tavde said that he was actually tipped off by the BJP himself. So maybe this is Mr. Modi making a call for unity within his own party. And what is this safe? Is it safety for those who crossed over to their side from prosecution from the ED, CBI, or IT? The people of Maharashtra,
but just one second. Dilip Cherian, you're a native English speaker yourself, and therefore you'd catch the pun and play on safe, right? Safe as in Surakshit, you being physically safe, safe also even as in your locker, your tijori. But do voters in rural Maharashtra get it as much in your view, given the fact that Dharavi is a very Mumbai issue? When you put so much energy and capital on it, you will have a certain traction for and against in Mumbai. But what about the rest? Looked at from your communication lens, who do you think scored more punches in this campaign?
I think the main thing, Rahul, is less the use of the word safe and more the evidence that this campaign has struck home because the opposition to the campaign is responding to it.
So you think the BJP campaign has struck home?
Yes, absolutely. The 2024 campaign did not have a situation of that kind. So if you look at a parallel, in communication terms, being able to lead with your own slogan is a sign of strength. And I think they missed an opportunity in trying to do that. Trying to mimic, mock, or morph one campaign is not a sign of strength. Second, you have to recognize that Maharashtra is a fairly advanced state in terms of economics. And the slogan that would have worked there would have something to draw out the aspirations of the young and convince the unemployed that there was a better future with a different government. And I think that that's an opportunity that perhaps has been missed by both parties. The BJP, because it wants to linger on the issue of communalism, and the Congress, because it doesn't want to focus on the issue of a future. If it had done that, those campaigns and those slogans would have had much greater impact. I think the divisive impact is not going to be as high, but the fact that the Congress has chosen to respond to it in terms of someone who's done multiple political campaigns across the country is not something that I would have recommended.
Okay, let Mohan Kumaramanglam respond. Dilip Cherian is as good a communications guru as any in this country. He's also worked with different political parties. He's saying reacting to the BJP's campaign is a key mistake. You're giving them the limelight and the mind share.
So as much respect as I have for Dr. Cherian or Mr. Dilip Cherian here, I would say that this particular retort by the Congress party on being out as safe is really not the pivot of our campaign, so to speak. We've had a number of things we've talked about in terms of giving relief to the poor, in terms of schemes that we'll bring for the unemployed. And all of those seem to have gotten washed away by this one particular slogan that you're pointing at. I don't think that's the case. I'll repeat, you'll see when the results come out, that this election is not going to be fought on over the air, above the line sort of sloganeering, but on local issues in every constituency. You will see that when the results come out.
Okay. Which is a good thing.
Professor Anand Ranganathan, Maharashtra, unlike say in Uttar Pradesh, hasn't been known in recent elections to polarize around communal line. There have been other issues, agrarian distress, the Maratha agitation. In Mumbai, the slogan may have traction, but do you think in the rest of Maharashtra it has as much traction?
A couple of points out here, Rahul, if I may. I have tremendous respect for Mr. Kumaramangalam, very erudite and makes very logical points, but I like to rebut him on 2 points. Number one, it's not that the safe, I think it's quite clever, the play on the word safe. You might be right that it may not resonate with a lot of voters who wouldn't understand what safe actually means in English. But the fact of the matter is, they would not, this doesn't appeal, this trick doesn't appeal to the voters because it is drowning in rank hypocrisy. I mean, the same Adani that Rahul Gandhi has previously called the symbol of corruption and out here is saying he's intensely corrupt. That same Adani had been doing projects worth 85,000 crores in Congress-ruled erstwhile states of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. And still, in Congress-ruled Telangana state, he is going around on a MOU signing spree with Mr. Revanth Reddy. So, if he is corrupt, then how on earth is he still being employed and used by the Congress? So, this is rank hypocrisy of the highest order.
That's an important point that Anand Ranganathan makes. Let Sanjay Jha respond to it. You've got the likes of Revanth Reddy, star Congress Chief Minister in Telangana, laying out the red carpet. In fact, I was at Davos when that meeting happened. Then again later in Telangana, inviting the group to come and invest. And you've got the Congress leader, Rahul Gandhi, leveling the kind of charge that he is, bringing out the hypocrisy. The charge of crony capitalism doesn't hold, because if he's a crony capitalist, then why are the likes of Revanth Reddy and the others wooing them in such fashion to try and get investments?
Rahul, let me tell you, Adani is a big issue in this election. It's because of the Dharavi project and the way the government of the Mahayuti has basically used that project to actually give him precious land of the Mumbai city at throwaway terms. And it also is seen as a manifestation of this government, those weak government's attempt to transfer lakhs of jobs and crores of investment away from Maharashtra to Gujarat. These are fundamental issues. Let me just comment on what my friend Dilip Cherian mentioned. I completely agree with what Mohan said. We can discuss all the campaign and all their hype, but the truth is, I live here, so I'm going to tell you that the issues in Maharashtra are unemployment, raging food inflation. Why do you think Modi talks about ek hai to safe hai? Food inflation is high. The poor man is suffering. I mean, the women who have been told you're getting 1,500 are saying, excuse me, that is not enough for me. The rural distress, the Maratha reservation, these are big issues in Maharashtra. And of course, corruption. And don't forget, Rahul, please don't forget the entire hijacking of NCP and Shiv Sena, that Gaddari, that Operation Lotus is going to boom.
But Dilip Cherian, again from a communication lens, while Rahul Gandhi's clearly made Dharavi and his charge of crony capitalism one of the linchpins of his attack, does this connect amongst voters, particularly rural voters? Because, with Dharavi, while there are some opponents, there are lots of people who think this is a good idea because they stand to benefit from it. So it's not as if it's 100 versus 0 on Rahul Gandhi's side. Opinion is divided. A lot of people actually liking what's happening. Secondly, typically, we've seen charges of crony capitalism not be as much of a factor as soybean prices, agrarian distress, Maratha agitation. Those are real issues for voters.
I think that there is no doubt that the inflation in food items is a huge concern, and that is something that the Congress will be able to reap benefits of. However, it is absolutely in keeping with Rahul Gandhi's staccato focus on crony capitalism, which has a resonance in Maharashtra, because Dharavi is something that all people, especially the rural people, have a conscious connection with, and therefore the connection to Adani could possibly have a certain resonance with that kind of audience. But will it be the real messaging that would have worked? I think what Sanjay Jha said about rural distress and the need for maintaining control on the prices of vegetables and other things which are part of the consumption basket is what should have been the
Rohan
focus.
Gupta, respond to what Dilip Cheran and the others are saying. This sense that Rahul Gandhi's repeated attacks cast doubts in the minds of voters about big corporates having a disproportionate sway over policy and benefiting disproportionately. That's what he's trying to implant into the minds of the voters. How do you know it's not working?
See, Rahul, when the last day of campaign is there, you give your best, right? As I think many of the panelists said that they are talking as an opposition party, you feel that these are the issues. When your supreme leader, he talks about the slogan of opposition party, it means that other issues are not working. And when you take that, open that safe and you take out photo of Adani, on other side in Telangana, you are accepting 100 crores money donation from Adani. So is that Adani different? Telangana Adani is different from Maharashtra Adani. Delhi Adani is different from Gujarat Adani. So this is the height of hypocrisy. How will people accept that? And you have the best opportunity on the last day of campaign and you are falling in trap of opposition campaign. It means you have lost it. You are not able to have confidence on the core issues on which you are fighting elections. That's why this is a desperate move that you have to talk about ek hai to safe hai on the last day of campaign, that also on the national issue. About the industrialists with whom your leaders are putting photographs, signing apples and taking 100 crores. Why there is no reaction?
Okay, Anand Ranganathan, your take. Is this an effective political attack, or is this yet another example of Rahul Gandhi's politics being laced with hypocrisy? Images on the screen now of Revant Reddy laying out the proverbial red carpet and Rahul Gandhi's charge being completely the opposite.
No, it's just not the hypocrisy on Adani. Rahul, look at the hypocrisy on communalism and bigotry. So this slogan, which technically is religion agnostic, ek hai to safe hai, but even if it were to say that all Hindus must unite, how is that against anybody else? But that is bigotry. But a Maulana saying that we have 14 points to support Congress and any Muslim who votes for BJP, uska hukka pani band kar denge. And the NCP candidates going and crawling under his feet so that some votes may come. That is not communal bigotry. Look at the hypocrisy out there. I mean, this shamelessness has to end. The voters can see this. And as far as inflation is concerned, I mean, you will have cheerleaders of the Congress and other people saying that, look, the inflation is skyrocketing. Have they forgotten that barely a month ago, inflation was at a 5-year low of 3.5%? Yes, there are fluctuations. Are they going to again dump the RBI report in the bin that said last year 47 million jobs were created? So if inflation was an issue, then people would have come onto the streets. The point of the matter is those are no longer issues because people are satisfied with what they're getting. That's the bottom line. Otherwise, you tell me how many jobs were created. Is there a number? You tell me what the inflation was 1 month ago. Is there a number?
Okay.
You don't believe the government figures. You don't believe anybody else's figure. You only believe your figures. I mean, come on.
Let me take our viewers through the story that Anand Ranganathan is talking about. The face of the Samajwadi Party in Maharashtra. Abu Azmi is meeting with Islamist cleric Salman Azhari ahead of the Maharashtra Assembly polls has triggered a big political controversy. Azhari, known for his hate-filled speeches, discussed with Azmi the need for stricter laws to punish those who insult Prophet Muhammad. The Samajwadi Party candidate from Mankhurd, Shivaji Nagar, Abu Azmi, promised Azhari that he will ensure harsh penalties for anti-prophet remarks if voted to power. Apart from this, the duo can be heard discussing how it is crucial to ensure that the Muslim vote does not get divided, which may end up benefiting the BJP. Remember, this video was posted by Abu Azmi hailing Islamic cleric Azhari, who is accused of abusing the Hindu community. Azhari's meeting with Azmi has sparked outrage, with opposition leaders slamming the SP's alliance with a hate preacher.
नामों से रिसालत हमारा मिशन है। अल्लाह ताला करे कि कामयाब हो और उसके बाद अगर आप जीत करके आगे बढ़ते हैं तो बस हमको ये आश्वासन दे दीजिए कि इस सिलसिले में आप क्या करेंगे नामों से रिसालत की हिफाजत के लिए, इस मिशन के लिए आप क्या काम करेंगे।
हमारे यहाँ से कम 100 बार सरकार से सड़क पे ये डिमांड कर चुका हूँ कि हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ दुनिया में जितने लोग हैं एहतराम के काबिल, मैं सबको मानता हूँ मगर मुस्तफा के बाद बस हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के खिलाफ अगर किसी ने गलत अल्फाज से नवाजा तो उसको ये जो आपका 153A है या कुछ ये बिल्कुल बेकार है। कम से कम उस पर आप UAPA लगाइए और अगर मेरा मैनिफेस्टो आप देखेंगे, मैं तो आज आपसे मिल रहा हूँ ना, मेरा मैनिफेस्टो 20 दिन पहले बन चुका है। उसमें पहली जो मेरी मांग है कि मैं जब अगर सत्ता में आया, पावर में आया, तो मैं सत्ता पक्ष से उसमें एक कानून जरूर बनवाना चाहूंगा कि जो जिन्होंने भी हुजूर के खिलाफ कुरान शरीफ जलाने का या फिर गाली देने का ऐसी चीजें आई ना, तो उसको यूएपीए के कानून में बंद किया जाए। ये सब
Okay, so let me put this question to Mohan Kumaramangalam. You know, Samajwadi Party, an ally of the Congress in the Maha Vikas Aghadi, its key face goes meets a known hate preacher. You know, this is not very good politics. When this kind of optics happens, that's when there's typically a counter consolidation.
I have to agree with you, Rahul. I think it makes no sense for him to go or even talk the things he has from what you have shown me. I don't know enough about the cleric you're speaking about to say whether he is a hate preacher or not, so I can't comment on that. But I think things like imposing UAPA for insulting the Prophet is just, that kind of talk doesn't make sense to me, frankly. I will say, however, that please do not try and draw an analogy between one MLA from the Alliance Party going and talking, who basically is the only representative I think that SP has in Maharashtra, going and talking to a cleric, to the Prime Minister of this country, saying that, and he meant it specifically for the Hindu religion. I want to correct Dr. Ranganathan when he said that it was religion agnostic, because he referred to castes which really only exist in the Hindu religion, as he mentioned it, and said that, don't get divided along caste lines, stay together, stay together. And he was talking to the Hindu religion, and it followed from Yogi Adityanath's own "Batenge to Katenge." So it was very, very obviously communal. It was very obviously a dog whistle. There was no
Let Ron Gupta
there.
come in on this.
Right?
He's saying that Abu Azmi is not the India alliance in Maharashtra. It's one isolated MLA candidate, and that this is not the alliance's view, and he shouldn't have done this.
How can you say that? He is fighting as an India alliance. How can you say that he is not important? He is important. He is the state leader of, state chief of SP. How can you say that he is not important? He is the same guy. He said that Waqf should get rent from the parliament. The land of parliament belongs to Waqf. How can you ignore such things? You cannot. You need to understand that people of this country, they are smart enough, and these are the messages. When you talk about minority appeasement, this is not communal. And when anybody talks about Hindu unity, that is communal. I think this is the height of hypocrisy. And again, taking interference from what Mr. Modi said, that is the loss of face for opposition. बिकॉज मोदी जी ने कहा ही नहीं है किसी को, आप अगर हिंदू को जाति में बांटेंगे और मुस्लिम तुष्टीकरण करेंगे तो देश रिएक्ट करेगा, उसमें क्या गलत है? अगर अबू आजमी ये बोल सकता है कि MIM बोल सकता है कि हमको सबको इकट्ठा होना है, अगर कोई बोलेगा कि हिंदू को नहीं बटना है, तो उसमें ये कहां से नफरत हो गई? ये किसके खिलाफ हो गया? क्या माइनॉरिटी के खिलाफ बोला गया? कहा गया नहीं हम मुसलमानों के खिलाफ का एक भी स्टेटमेंट मुझे दिखाइए. So I think this is the height of hypocrisy. आप डिवाइड करें तो ठीक है, रिजर्वेशन के नाम पे डिवाइड करें तो ठीक है, संविधान के नाम पे करें तो ठीक है. This is not acceptable. Either you talk on the issue of governance or you talk on the issue of communalism. You cannot do both things. You cannot do things at the time when you want something favorable to you, take in your favor, and something going opposite to you, you appealing to only one community. Where is, you tell me where Mr. Modi has said AK to safe is for Hindu. You tell me one speech. I'm ready to
talks about splitting people along caste. Who do you think he's referring to?
Okay, so both Anand Ranganathan, final words before I wrap this up.
We can be shameless, we are not brainless.
Of all the tutu meme, the back and forth that we've seen on the political battlefield, what do you think will matter most when voters go out and cast their mandate in Maharashtra and what's left of Jharkhand?
Very quickly, first of all, I applaud Mr. Kumaramangalam for coming out and saying what needs to be said, castigating that Maulana for asking for UAP or some other things, or Abu Azmi in fact, because free speech has to be cherished in this country, whatever little is left of it. So thank you for saying that. But you were technically wrong when you said Islam. Modi was talking only of Hindus because Muslims do not have caste. You could not be more wrong, but anyway, that's besides the point. Look, Rahul, in 10 seconds, let me tell you the issues that matter will matter. It's not batenge ya katenge ya ek hai ki safe hai. It is unfortunately the freebies that have gone haywire that are going to win elections in Maharashtra.
You're thinking freebies are going to win elections? There are two aspects on the freebies. One, that both alliances are promising freebies, And the MB
one
is
has
also
already delivered.
One is delivered. You got cash in hand, which is always better than cash in the bush. But you've got the bird in the bush promising even bigger freebies, and you've got the reality that there has been creeping inflation of late, which kind of negates some of the positivity from the freebies. Here's the thing. If any of these pundits or anybody else at this time, netas and non-netas included, think they know what's happening in Maharashtra or even in Jharkhand, the fact is they don't. This is an exciting election, which is why you need to keep coming back to India today to track what's happening. We can't predict how this match will end, neither will we pretend to, but what we can do is ensure that you will get the best ball by ball, moment by moment commentary. I'm told in a short while from now, the BJP is planning a big press conference where they're looking to turn the tables on the India alliance on the issue of the cash haul with Vinod Thavde. So they claim they've got some explosive, damning allegations. So there'll be lots of fire, counter fire happening all through the night. And we'll be here to give you the best ringside view. Let the best man, woman win. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Delhi continues to gasp for breath as the capital's air quality remains poor. The Delhi government has written to the centre seeking clarity on artificial rain as a possible solution. But the question is, will these band-aid solutions fix the air apocalypse?
We will start with a simple question. What are you smoking today? If you are in Delhi, you would have smoked around 22 cigarettes. And if you are in Bengaluru, just 3. The difference in the air quality so stark that a wise soul on social media commented it would be healthier to smoke a cigarette in Bengaluru than do yoga in Delhi. The air emergency, whether you are ready to acknowledge it or not, is real. The air quality index hit 500 or severe at many locations in the national capital Tuesday morning. The 4th stage of the Graded Response Action Plan is in place in Delhi. Schools have gone online. There are curbs on heavy vehicles entering the city. But none of it seems enough to rid Delhi of its foul air. The state government says experts are being consulted on the implementation of odd even to cut down road traffic. It has also written to the centre seeking artificial rains.
आर्टिफिशियल रेन के लिए केंद्र सरकार की जो अनुमति चाहिए, उसके लिए हमने इस बार अगस्त के महीने से हमने संवाद शुरू किया, प्रयास शुरू किया। आज हमने जो ये इमरजेंसी चिट्ठी लिखी है कि इमरजेंसी मीटिंग बुलाई जाए, मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से भी निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि इसमें हस्तक्षेप करें। इस मीटिंग की बहुत जरूरत है और इसमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार को भी गंभीरता से काम करने की जरूरत है।
With no solution forthcoming, politics over pollution continues. Aam Aadmi Party is accusing BJP-ruled states of not following Grab 4 checks. On the other hand, the BJP is blaming Atishi government for the mess.
कल ही तक तो आप लोग कहते थे ना कि पंजाब की पराली कॉज कर रही है। हम तो आज भी नहीं कर रहे हैं कि एक ही राज्य की पराली इसका कारण है, लेकिन आप कहते थे आज पंजाब में आपकी सरकार है, जब सरकार बन गई तो पंजाब की पराली समस्या नहीं रही। ऐसी स्थिति में आतिशी जी, आप झूठ बोलना और दिल्ली को जहर परोसना बंद करो।
Though the Delhi government is proposing cloud seeding to control air pollution, experts are not optimistic.
Cloud seeding only works if it's at a large enough scale, if you have high enough rain and you have wind with it. Okay? Pollution science is very clear that if there is high moisture in the air, more pollutants will get trapped in it.
The Met Department has projected a few more days of smog over Delhi and other North Indian cities. The Aam Aadmi has no option but to weather it out and hope it does not repeat next year. Bureau Report, India Today.